Hi, this is Isabel Litzler, Pleiad HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today I want to give you some tips on the interviewing process. This is something that you will have to go through if you're applying for positions, sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So you want to be well versed on the process and deliver as best as you can. So this video is particularly focused if you're manager level. However, if you're also a student or junior, I think you can probably get some good information there. So I have basically a package online for people who are looking for opportunities in Switzerland. It's called my online career pack. And I have a section on interviews where I give a lot of materials, questions, so that you can see what kind of questions are asked, and also checklists. So today I'm sharing part of my material where I explain a little bit what you need to do before, during, and after the interview. So before the interview, if you're manager level, you definitely want to be credible. So you want to do as much research as you can. So it's going a little bit beyond just looking at a website very vaguely. You really want to understand, especially if there's some big news that came up. So for example, a new product launch, a merger, a complete change of management. You want to be aware of these things. So if you can find it on the website, try also Google, try websites like Glassdoor, where you get a lot of information on companies. Not all of them are listed in Switzerland. It's still not very known in Europe. In the US, Glassdoor is used for job postings, for companies where you get reputation. It's a star system, a little bit like hotels, where they tell you if it's a good place to work. So that whole concept of good places to work and reputation is becoming bigger and bigger as employees and employers want to match in the end. So they want to know about each other. And it used to be that it was mostly the company that wanted to know about the candidate. But now candidates also want to understand the company reputation. Culture is becoming more and more important, especially for the younger generation. They want to work for a mission or a cause or something that makes sense to them. So reputation and what I call in the HR jargon, the branding, the online branding of the organization is becoming more and more important. So before the interview, make sure you do your research, that you understand what you're going into, so that if you're asked questions, you know what to do. The other thing you need to do is know your resume by heart. So don't go there thinking I'll just make it up. You need to really understand from beginning to end your experiences, what you've done. And what you want to avoid is to speak too much about each experience going backward from the 90s or whenever you started working. Most recruiters are interested in the most recent experiences and how that leads you to applying right now. So make sure that when you answer the question, tell me about yourself, you're very focused on now and what you want to do now. So don't spend too much time going into details about jobs 10 years ago. You want to mention that you worked somewhere and you want to go over that quickly, but the idea is to project yourself in the future. So I work quite a lot on that when I do the online consultations. People contact me for training for this pitch, about tell me about yourself, and training during the interview and exchanging with a recruiter. So this is really something that you need to repeat so that you become very good at it. So during the interview process, what you need to do is really, again, be credible. So if you come to interview for a manager role, make sure that you project this image. So image is the first thing that I mention when you go to an interview, because it's a reflection of who you are and what people will see about you. So some people say, well, but it's all physical appearance or what you're wearing. But unfortunately, we live in a very shallow society. People do judge you with the image that you project. That's a reality. So even if you're a very smart person, you're a very capable person, people will still judge you on, what you wear, how you present yourself. So make sure that you invest in your presentation. So it's both presentation in terms of clothing, but also presentation skills in terms of how you speak and how you express what you want to do. So that will fall a little bit under leadership as well, and presence. So if you're applying for a position, people want to hire, let's say, a manager. They want someone who can talk the part, who can impose also to some extent. So you want to train yourself to send this message when you interview. And this is not something that happens overnight. It's a lot of training. It's also based on your experiences. I had candidates that had bad experiences and they lost a little bit of self-esteem. And they were managers. and they had been going through tough times. So we needed to work a lot on the self-esteem part and really believing in their skills. So this is also part of the work I do individually, but I think it's necessary before you can feel confident during an interview and project that to a recruiter. So during the interview, again, presence, answering the questions right, knowing your resume. And also after the interview, it's going to be important what you do. So when you interview, you want to show that you're really interested. So you want to send a thank you message, making sure that you thank the recruiter for the experience and also positioning yourself for potentially the second interview. And also what you want to do is keep notes. So if you've interviewed somewhere and they told you a lot of information about the company, this is usually what happens when you have a meeting with a headhunter or placement agency. They will tell you everything about the employer, where it's based, and the situation. Make sure you take notes on that and make sure that you understand that very well so that you position yourself to be selected for the second interview or third interview, etc. So how you're going to manage the process on your end is going to be as important as what's happening on the other side. So to stay in that fast track of being the top 3 candidates, you want to show that you're a leader. You want to show that you are the right person for the job. So whatever you do should reflect that, and this is something that you'll have to do probably several times until it becomes second nature. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, as usual, feel free to comment and I will answer your questions. I will talk to you soon. Thanks.